This is the DeathAdder V4 Pro, one of the most expensive gaming mice you can buy. But here's the problem. Expensive does not always mean better. Today I'm comparing this with some budget options. I'm going to fill you in on what really matters. Also, as a quick heads up, at 1,000 YouTube subscribers, I'm going to give away one of these flagship mice that I've been featuring in this series. If you want a chance to win, you can click on my Linktree, and in my Linktree, it has this 1,000 sub giveaway gaming mouse reviews. If you click on that, it brings you to the playlist. I've got one video up already. Every time you comment in one of these videos, and if you're following me, you'll earn one entry into the contest. When I hit 1,000 subs, that's when I'll give it away. So comment down below which mouse you would want to win. And also, if you want the best deals on everything from gaming mice to graphics cards to RAM to what have you, check out my shorts that I post every single day on YouTube and also on TikTok. I personally own and have used all 4 of these mice. And not just for a day or two. I'm not just comparing the specs from a website. This is based on real use over time. For reference, I've got pretty large hands, about 11 by 19 centimeters, and my hands stay dry even while I'm gaming. That's important because most mouse coatings are actually designed for people with warmer or sweatier hands. So I end up using grip tape on almost every mouse I test. And just keep this in mind because what feels great for me might feel completely different to you. For medium to large hands, the Ergo style mouse is great for palm gripping, claw gripping, and you can usually get away with fingertip grip if you can find a comfortable way to do it. If you have small hands, you might want to look for an Ergo shaped mouse that's a little bit smaller than this. It's really one of those things where you just got to get the mouse, try it, and see if it works out with your hand. Now let's talk about what really matters when you're choosing a mouse. Quick reality check. Specs like polling rate sound crazy, 4K, 8K, but after 1,000 to 2,000 hertz, the gains are tiny and it can even hit your CPU and cause stuttering. So yeah, nice to have, but not what makes a mouse great. What actually matters is this. Shape is king, people. If the mouse doesn't fit your hand, no sensor, no polling rate, no price tag will fix that. So step 1, find your shape. Step 2, get the best specs that you can afford. The DeathAdder V4 Pro is Razer's top-tier ergonomic mouse. It's a right-handed shape, super comfortable for palm and relaxed claw, as well as fingertip gripping for medium to large hands. It's ultra lightweight for its size. It has a top-tier sensor performance, and the tracking on this mouse is flawless. So now I'm going to break down the key features of this mouse. Razer uses their Focus Pro 45K optical Gen 2 sensor. In real life use, you'll not even notice anything but peak performance. For the left and the right click, you have Razer's own optical Gen 4 switches. They're fast, they're durable, and they're spammable. The mouse wheel is an optical scroll. It's amazing. One of my pet peeves is a mushy scroll wheel or a mushy button on that scroll wheel. This has neither of those. Looking at you, Logitech Super Strike. You have both of those. Has a long battery of life of 150 hours at 1K polling, and you'll get 22 hours of charge life at 8K. So if you're crazy and your computer can handle it, you get about 22 hours of reliability on that. Here's the lore with me and the DeathAdder V4 Pro. It was the first lightweight gaming mouse that I had ever purchased. Most of my other mice were MMO mice, and they weighed over 125 grams, I think. The difference in this mouse versus those is insane. After I got used to the weight and the feel of the mouse, it's almost like I didn't have a mouse in my hand. It was just me doing stuff, and the clicks came, the buttons were pressed, and the mouse moved, and I didn't even notice any of it. I feel like that's a good description of a great gaming mouse experience. The price for the DeathAdder V4 Pro starts at $169.99 up to $189.99 for the special editions. You can often find it on sale for around $140. Now there's 3 different colors offered on Amazon: the black, the white, and the Nico edition, which is gray, white, and black, and also signed by Nico. And there's one exclusive color only available through the Razer website, and that's the esports green. The one I have. There is one last thing I really like about this mouse, and it's the software. Hold on a second. Don't come at me yet. What I mean by that, so in the software, you can come in here, you can go into performance, and right here under polling rate, I run it at 2K pretty much while I'm in gaming. They have this smart polling rate switcher, which you can drop down to 1K polling when you're outside of a game. So it'll bounce back and forth without you having to do anything. Now, the bad thing is this switching right here will only happen if you have Synapse open. If you close it down, it'll save all your other features, but it will not save that. Another nice thing is the little dongle here. You can set what these LED lights will tell you. So right now it's telling me the polling rate, the battery level, which I've got plenty left. I'm still at 100%. Let's get into the few cons that I have about this. Razer Synapse is known for being a CPU hog. The good news is they just released their online version of this where you can load it up in a browser and close it down immediately afterwards. That's available on the Razer Viper V4 Pro. I would assume they're going to slowly integrate the other high-end gaming mice into that. If you can set your mouse up, shut it off, you should be fine. Don't run it in the background. Next up, the only other thing I don't like are the clicks on the mouse. So if you notice, those clicks were a little pingy, but they were really bad when I first got it. And as I used it, they broke in and they sound perfectly fine. I don't even notice them. I play with headphones half the time, but the software being heavy and the clicks being a little bit pingy, everything else feels great. Recap, this mouse is amazing, but you're paying a premium. Our first budget alternative is the Teevolution Terra. This will make you question spending a lot of money on a flagship mouse. The Teevolution Terra is a shape-focused alternative. It's lighter, it's taller, and it has a minimal feel to it. It's great for palm grip or claw grip. It's a little harder to fingertip grip if you don't have large hands. And you're giving up some premium build feel, but really not that much. And it's hard to notice if you don't have them side by side. And it also doesn't have the software depth that Synapse has. So the differences between the DeathAdder and the Terra. The DeathAdder is a lower profile, making it more usable by more hand sizes, where the Terra is taller, making the hump higher, and the front and the rear of the mouse higher off the mouse pad. So for larger hands, you have plenty enough room for your pinky and your ring finger. Software is a little bit simpler, but it's lighter weight than Synapse. Both have really solid build quality. It has two price points. If you buy just the mouse at 1K polling, it's $84.80, or you can get the mouse with the LCD screen 8K dongle for $110.80. On the LCD screen, you can set it for a time, or you can set it to actually read out everything that the mouse is doing, from DPI to connection to battery life to what polling rate you're at. You have the choice of black, white, or emerald green. They also have an inferno color, which is black and orange. One of the nice things about every color the Terra comes in is the LCD screen dongle and the wires for the mouse are the same color as the mouse. Really, really good attention to detail. Just remember, this mouse is great for large hands and medium hands. If you have a smaller hand, you may not like it. But for the price, this is nipping at the heels of the DeathAdder. And next up, we have the Attack Shark V8 8K. This one's pretty wild. It's 8K polling at a budget price of $60. On paper, it is a clone of the DeathAdder V4. It has an insane 8K polling rate for this price. Lightweight at 59 grams. Great universal size and ergo shape as the DeathAdder, a true clone to the DeathAdder. It even has Bluetooth connectivity. That's something the DeathAdder doesn't have. And it also has a symmetrical, stylized shark fin dongle, for those of you who care about that. It comes in black or white with matching 8K dongles for $60. All this cloniness at close to a third of the price of the DeathAdder, but it has some downsides. 8K polling on my version is not super reliable, not like the DeathAdder or the Terra, but at 1 to 2K polling, I saw no issues. The coding is not as good as on the Terra or on the DeathAdder, so if you're a coding person and you need that, it's not the same. It does come with grip tape, but it's not that grippy for my hands, and I'd probably use aftermarket grip tape in place of it. With extra pressure, you can actually hear it creak a little bit. And then the stock skates are really scratchy and cheap white PTFE. All right. I don't think you guys are ready for this mouse. Tell me you're ready, because here we go. The Rapoo VT3 Gen 2 wireless gaming mouse has true 8K polling. For the price, this is the best clone of the DeathAdder V4 Pro. I would say you're getting close to 80% of the performance to that flagship mouse at a fourth of the cost. Remember, this is my opinion, but I've used both mice for several days and several gaming sessions and on and off here and there, and the Rapoo actually stays on my desk. At 4K polling and below, I didn't even notice any issues or jitters on my high-end or my low-end PC. The button clicks and scroll wheel and the side buttons felt and sound a little bit better than the Attack Shark V8. The scroll wheel is a little weak, but it is what it is. It has a DPI button on the top that you can keybind to other actions. This is a plus because I always like extra buttons to program on my mouse. And the battery life on this thing. At 1K polling, you get an unbelievable 750 hours. The downsides on it is you get worse materials. The coating's not as good. It's a little bit better than the Attack Shark, in my opinion. But again, remember, I have dry hands, so it's hard for me to tell even if it's sticky or not sticky. But it doesn't feel great. The stock mouse skates, I pulled them off almost immediately and stuck dot skates on there. Feels much better. And then the software is super basic, but it pretty much gets the job done, so you don't have to worry about that. Out of all four of the mice, the Rapoo V8 is the true value budget winner, in my opinion. Not because just the cost, but because they still made a damn good mouse. So here's what you need to take away. The performance, all of these track extremely well, though my least favorite was the Attack Shark with how it felt and tracked on my mouse pad. You're not really going to notice a difference even in the Attack Shark. I wouldn't have noticed it. Probably on a cloth mouse pad. I play on a glass mouse pad though. The biggest deciding factor is comfort. So the Attack Shark, the Rapoo, and then the DeathAdder are almost identical down to every millimeter on those mice. Almost. So close you're not going to notice. Where the Terra's taller and chunkier. So remember, more of a big hand kind of person is what that one's made for. The next factor is value. So the budget mice, you're getting great deals at 80 to 90% of the performance of a flagship. So more than half the price and sometimes a quarter of the price. So it really comes down to you to what you want and what you like. The DeathAdder for sure is the best overall, and it gives you the best warranty out of all of these. So that's something to keep in mind too. You might be able to buy 2 of them in 2 years or 3 of them in 2 years, but their warranties are only about a year. Here's my thought process behind buying a mouse. Find the shape, ergonomic, symmetrical, fingertip, whatever size mouse works for you. Make sure it fits with your grip style. Then choose your budget. Shape first, specs and internals second. And with that, this review is done. Check daily for my daily deals, shorts, and videos that I post every single day. And then if you want to win a flagship mouse, comment on my flagship videos. The more videos you comment on, the more entries you get. And if this helped you pick your next gaming mouse, drop a like and a sub. And we'll see you tomorrow.